In this special video, I'm going to share with you a new way on how I generated 135,000 ringgit in a month as a social media marketing agency. And if you want to be able to do something like that, even if nobody has heard of you, even if you work alone or in a small team, even if you don't have a high startup budget, and without peacocking all over the internet or meeting clients in person, and still deliver amazing results and massive value, then I think you're going to love this. So pay very close attention to what I have to say. Hey, it's Edmund Low here, and I'm an entrepreneur just like you. And even though I've been running an online business since 2005, believe it or not, I didn't quite catch on to the social media trend until much later. So a few years ago, when more local businesses and SMEs started to get on social media platforms, I figured that the next logical step was to offer social media marketing services to them. And everyone understands if they want to be getting visibility today, they need to have an online presence. And I'm an internet marketer, so it should be easy money if I offer to do social media marketing for them, right? And that was when I found out it wasn't as easy as I thought. Oof, right? Now, even though I spotted the opportunity in getting paid to run ads for other businesses, actually deep down, I was kind of second guessing myself. And let me tell you why. Because up to this point, I was mainly selling products for myself on the internet. And I mean, sure, I had done some simple social media ads for myself. It was okay, but I wasn't sure if I was truly ready to take on clients that could be running business different from myself. And being the introvert that I am, I have some anxiety talking to people, especially strangers. Yeah, what a confession, right? So with that said, cold calling is totally out of the question. I mean, besides, don't we all hate this? That said, I did the next best thing, okay? So you can imagine me putting my fingers in quotes right now. And this is what I did, all right? My team and I were sending physical letters to nearby local business by physical mail, like this. That's right. Now, I think some people will laugh at this idea, but hey, it seemed like a smart idea at the time, all right? And my rationale was that since many of these businesses were offline in the first place, then I should reach them offline to offer my online marketing services. So that was kind of like my logic at the time. Now, fast forward 500 envelopes and stamps later, only one person called up to our office, and yeah, you thought it was bad, right? And even then, it was not even a serious inquiry. So you can imagine my disappointment. At this juncture, I was kind of desperate, so I turned to friends that I know and I asked that, hey, would you like me to do a social media marketing service for you? Just give me a try, right? And only to be compared to other established agencies, and some even asked if I had a prior track record with other clients. Yeah, if you are in this situation like me, I'm like, just give me a chance, okay? Yeah, it's quite a weird situation. I mean, the way I would describe it was that I was caught in a chicken and egg situation. And I think you can understand that, right? I mean, it's kind of ironic because for a digital marketing agency that wanted to help other businesses get on social media, I didn't seem to be doing a good job for myself. So no surprise that I was kind of disappointed with myself, and I developed what you would call a imposter syndrome. I mean, if I could not get clients to my own business, then how on earth am I going to help other people get clients for themselves? Now, I'm not sure if any of you watching this right now, you can relate to this. And I think it's important to share this predicament because it's not spoken of a lot. And even when it's done, it's usually behind closed doors and with quite some shame and guilt. And the reality is that there are a lot of people out there that want to do social media marketing with really good intentions. But the thing is that they are struggling to overcome this weird paradox themselves. So continuing my story, at this point, honestly, I just feel like giving up and go back to my usual business. I would have been fine with that, really. But however, it also bothered me a lot knowing that in Malaysia alone, as of the time of this video, there are more than 1.2 million small and medium businesses out there, right? Small and medium enterprises, okay? And I'm very sure all of them, they want to get more customers and clients for themselves. Okay, I mean, which business do you know that doesn't want to have more customers? Okay, and many of them are definitely spending some kind of amount on advertising or marketing. So, are you telling me that I can't even get at least one client out of every one of them in Malaysia? I mean, come on, man. The way I saw it was that the big advertising agencies were once upon a time nobodies themselves. So they must have started somewhere, right? And as I dug deeper, I learned of two problems that I hear of again and again. The first problem is past bad experience. In the last few years alone, business owners have been burned by other incompetent or fly-by-night agencies, which kind of explains why they're a lot more jaded and skeptical by now. And problem number 2 is forced retainer contracts. Now, I was surprised to hear this because this seemed to be the norm where agencies will put their clients on a contract like 3 months, 6 months, and things like that. So even in the off chance that the client is unhappy, he or she has no choice but to continue paying for the remainder of the contract. And I think that also contributes to the first part that I talked about, the displeasure, disappointment, and things like that. And this is the kind of market that we are dealing with today. So it's not like the early or mid 2010s anymore where people were more optimistic, people were excited to experiment with going on social media. Because today, business owners are sick and tired of hype and tall promises. Again, maybe you can relate to that. So it's not exactly their fault for being extra careful right now. But at the same time, these business owners know they cannot just turn back to traditional advertising because that is fast becoming a thing of the past. They also know that despite their disappointment, they know that social media is still where all the action is. This is where all their potential customers and clients are, all right? And the fact that multi-million-dollar social media agencies exist is proof that there's a ton of wealth and opportunities to be made here. So I knew that the opportunity was still staring back at me. So what I did was that this time, I started to do things a little bit more counterintuitive. And what do I mean by that? The very first thing I did this time around was that I dropped the forced retainer contract that every other agency is doing. It was kind of strange at first because the whole idea of getting into social media agency for me was that I want to get recurring income from my clients. All right, and I believe a lot of you watching this right now, that was why you're attracted to this business in the first place. But because so many people have already been burned by past agencies, I find that practicing the idea of a forced retainer contract today can actually be a deterrent instead, especially when you're not proven. Plus, if I was working with a client that was no longer happy, it kind of doesn't make sense for me to chain him or her to a contract. Okay. So the second thing that I did was that I put up more emphasis on showing more value upfront, and this was the biggest game changer. Where previously I was so desperate for clients that I was trying so hard to sell, this time I focused more on a no-holds-barred approach in sharing my knowledge and expertise with my potential clients free of charge. Now I gotta say that this was a bit scary at first because I wanted to make money and I wasn't getting paid yet. And frankly, I wasn't even sure that this would work because you have to remember, at this point, I still haven't got a lot of results to show, all right? So imagine my excitement when within the next week of implementing this strange approach, I secured my first client that paid me 3,000 ringgit. Now, I know to some people it's not really a lot of money, but for me, it was a hard-won victory because for the first 2 months, I struggled to land even a single client. And some of you might ask at this point, did I just get lucky? Was this just a fluke? And I couldn't help but wonder as well. So I just continued sharing value since this seemed to work. And when I signed on first-time clients, I didn't implement the forced retainer contract that everyone else was doing. And gradually, I was enrolling clients that paid thousands of ringgits, not only once, but even every month as well. Like in this particular memorable case study or story, I even had one client that came to the office and paid 15,000 ringgit in cash. Now, I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since I last saw physical cash like this, especially when we're doing everything online. But this was really definitely a very happy episode, and it also kind of illustrates how that there are a lot of offline businesses that still think in a very traditional way, and they're looking to overcome this barrier to go online, all right? And to answer some of the skeptical questions as well, since I do not implement this forced retainer contract, do clients actually stay even after the first month, even without this retainer clause, all right? And the great news is that I find that a lot of people actually do, especially when you do a fantastic job for them. Like there's this one memorable client of mine as well, who's in an aesthetic business. He's a doctor with a few, or rather I would say 3 branches to be exact. And you can see that he's been paying month to month. Now, of course, I can't show you everything here or else this is just going to go on for slides and slides. But I just want to let you know that this has gotten to a point that I was juggling more clients than I could handle. And I was happy, all right? I'm not complaining. And then 2020 happened. I think you kind of know what happened this year, all right? Lockdowns happened worldwide and Malaysia was no exception. And because of that, this presented a new problem, all right? So you probably remember how most businesses were ordered to close for weeks at end, right? And because most of my clients were running offline business, they had to close. And when they close, there's no reason for them to engage me to run advertisements for them. So, now with everyone being indoors and you're not allowed to go out, you can say that it caused a domino effect and I lost a massive source of income just like that. And if you kind of remember at the start of the lockdowns, like you, I was kind of waiting out as well. And maybe this was just temporary, right? What I didn't know at the time was that that would not be the first lockdown. And in fact, two more major lockdowns will happen. So we kind of went into a phase of like releasing lockdowns and being back to lockdowns and then being out again for the next 2.5 years. So kind of crazy, right? How far we've actually come here. And since the future was uncertain at that point in time, I mean, if you're like me again, you definitely want some kind of security or certainty. So here's what I did, all right? The first step was that I decided to close my office of 7 years and I switched all my operations to 100% online. And what do I mean by that? I implement the same social media marketing strategy to get clients that are already online and those that are outside of Malaysia where they're in countries where lockdowns were lifted earlier than in Malaysia. And because of that, since then, I conduct all my calls and onboarding my new clients through Zoom meeting, all right? And that means I didn't have to meet anyone physically even until today. How wonderful is that? So back up to 6 figures again, and I've not looked back ever since. So if anyone tells you that social media agency business is not lucrative, it's a dying market, or it only works if you meet them in person, all right? Pay no mind to them because they're most likely still subscribed to the old ways or maybe like before 2020 way of thinking, and or maybe methods that used to work 5 to 10 years ago, it doesn't work today. And as you can see, there's a ton of money to be made here despite just my personal experience that I'm sharing with you. All right, and despite what happened at the start of the year 2020, the demand actually just continued to grow in the digital realm. And there's more than enough to go around for everyone, including you watching this right now and me for that matter. And the way to win this game so you can be blessed with more happy clients is not to work harder, but to work and think differently. And I proved this many times, not only with myself, but also with my students. And if you want to know how to be a successful social media marketing agency, whether you work alone or in a small team, then I have something in store for you. Because after years of doing this, I finally come around to create a definitive online course called the 6-Figure Agency Secrets. And everything is in the members area, so you can log in and start watching the first video training. It's not long, you can cover everything in just a couple of hours. And although I strongly recommend you watch and rewatch parts as you implement each step, I will show you how to start your very own social media agency business with just a laptop and internet connection, so you don't necessarily need a team or office for this. I'll show you where and how to get clients even if you're new and nobody has heard of you yet. And this approach works especially well today in a jaded market where trust is on a low deficit. And just as well, how to get them to sign up with you regardless of whether they are based in Malaysia or outside. And how to easily answer intimidating questions like, should I work with you? Or what's your credibility? And if you want to hit at least 6 figures per year or even per month for that matter, the fastest way to get there is to price your packages to the tunes of thousands of ringgit. So I'll show you how to structure your social media marketing offers to sell at prices like 3,000 to 10,000 ringgit. And this can be a monthly recurring. And above all else, I will guide you to deliver massive results, impact and value to your clients so that they continue to stay with you as happy campers. At this point, you might ask, hey, that's great, right? But what about the documents and, the legal matters? Okay, don't worry, I've got you covered on that. Because what I'm going to do is that I'm also going to give you the templates to my contracts, quotes, audit, invoice receipt with my details removed. So all you need to do is just fill in the blanks and enter your own details. Now, your access to the course is permanent, which is life of the membership, so you don't have to worry about losing it or anything like that. Plus, I do carry out the occasional updates as and when I see the need to, and this will help keep you competitive and relevant in this business. And also, when you need help, we are just one email away. This means that you get access to my support team when you have questions. So while you can be in business for yourself, you would have to be by yourself, and that's our commitment to you. Now, one of my mentors charged 12,000 ringgit to teach something like this. And I feel that for many reasons, I really should be pricing this at least 5 figures. And I think you would agree with that as well, right? I mean, the way I see it is that if you charge 3,000 ringgit, for example, and you got 4 clients, which will show you how to do that, you effectively cover this fee, all right? Or if you get 1 client that stays with you for 4 months at the same rate, it does the same as well. And again, my program shows you how to do all this. But wait, it gets better, because when you get 6-figure agency secrets today, you also get my first bonus, which is Facebook Ads Mastery. Now, this is my signature training program on how anyone can use Facebook ads to get leads and sales, starting with possibly a small daily budget. Now, this is something that I taught in my live training at 2,000 ringgit per pax, and to this day, I update the training from time to time. So really, this alone is actually worth more than what I'm about to ask. Next, you get the second bonus, which is YouTube Ads Mastery, and I believe this name is already self-explanatory. I know of a trainer that charges 5,000 ringgit to teach this in his online workshop, and it's definitely worth every cent when you can tap into the world's biggest video platform for advertising. And to round everything up, I'm also going to give you access to what I would call a private interview expert talk access, which is the 100 million ringgit agency expert talk with Sean Ling, the founder of iPrima Media. Okay, now, if you have no idea who this is, Sean Ling is a good friend of mine and he's a highly successful online entrepreneur. And that 100 million ringgit figure alludes to the total sales that he, his clients, and collaboration partners have generated to date. So when I learned of this, naturally, I was not only curious, I just needed to know what the secret was. So I scheduled an interview for him to find out how he went from, being an engineer from a long time ago, with zero digital marketing knowledge whatsoever, to currently a team of 35 plus people and 4 offices, okay, in Johor, Singapore, and Sarawak, his hometown. Now, while this doesn't mean that you must have an office or a team like him, it just shows how far that this business can take you or anyone for that matter. And it's also worth mentioning that he's not from the make money online or the biz op market that some people might suspect. In fact, he works with a lot of very local businesses within Malaysia and Singapore. And that adds to the rarity because he works with various types of business. And for the longest time, this interview is only available to my personal coaching clients. And again, any one of these bonuses right now is worth way more than what I'm asking for today. But you can have it all free when you act now. And look, you don't even have to say yes, just a maybe will do. Because your purchase of the 6-figure agency secrets is covered by my 100% satisfaction guarantee. Which means that you can use everything you learn for a full 60 days from today and truly put everything to the test. Alright? Now, if you don't think this was the best investment you've ever made, I think it's fair that you just let us know. We'll buy the excess back from you. And the bonuses that I just talked about, they are yours to keep as a token of trying. So the way I see it is that you have totally nothing to lose. Just give yourself a chance. And again, I'm just going to say this once again, that I know of experts that charge at least 12,000 ringgit and above, and even that's conservative, and yet they don't even give anything near as comprehensive as this. So I kind of thought of mulling on the 5,000 ringgit price tag, and I thought that was kind of reasonable in a way. But because everything is 100% online, this means that I can afford to pass the savings back to you. So you can join today at a low investment of just 997 ringgit. That's right. At 997 ringgit, you can get access to this program by clicking on the order button below. Because even with just one client, this will pay itself many times over. And every sale that you make after this is profit. So act now. You can pay through card or FPX on our secure server. And after the payment is made, you'll be directed to create your account. And then you can log into the members area. Remember, the access is instant, so there is no wait. At this point, I would like to address a few commonly asked questions regarding this program, so here goes. Now, one of the questions I normally get is, okay, what if I'm totally new, like newbie, right? With no past experience whatsoever. Is this still suitable for me? Will it work for me? And the short answer is yes, absolutely. Because I train other individuals to do the same, and one of them is a certain Mark Lim, who went from zero knowledge about social media marketing to 20,000 ringgit in 7 months. And since then, he's been averaging a 5-figure monthly income. Now, get this. This was done at the start of the 2020 lockdowns, which means that he did all this without meeting anyone physically. All right. So with that said, this program is designed for beginners, and with the assumption that you have not done this before, you have no past experience, maybe not even any connections whatsoever. That's totally fine. And you are going to be following the same strategy that people like Mark and many others are using to get amazing results. Next question. Will you show how I can get new clients? Well, absolutely. In fact, I show 3 different ways that you can use to land clients, so don't worry about that. Okay. Next up, will the same strategy work if I want to get international clients? And yes, indeed. The internet has broken down boundaries, and there's no stopping you from getting clients, whether it's in Malaysia, it can be in Singapore, UK, US, and anywhere else, while being based here in Malaysia like myself. All right. In fact, I'm going to take one of my other students, Abdullah Bamatraf, as an example, who is serving the Arab market. Quick background, he's a fellow Yemeni based in Malaysia right now, and he's been training with me for the last several years now. As you can see here, he is serving the Arab-speaking market, and now I do not know a single word of Arab, but just look at how Abdullah is crushing it in the Arab-speaking world using the same process. Okay. Next up, question. Okay, what do I need? Do I need an office staff or the works or anything like that? Okay, guys, again, all you need to get started with is just a computer or a laptop, and you can connect to the internet, and that's it. You don't need an office or hire a team to do this, all right? Now, I get it, if you are working in a very traditional way, you might think that having an office will impress people or to be taken seriously. I used to have that mindset last time, but things have changed a lot in the recent years, okay? So I get the popular notion that when people think of the word agency, the first thing that pops up in their minds is that it's a busy office with like a lot of workers wearing ties, walking around, running around, okay? It's nothing quite like that in reality. Now, let me just show you, okay? Now, I took this picture just more like posing, but just to give you an idea that, you can be running your business literally from your laptop like this, okay? And be your own one-person social media agency so you can work with anyone, anywhere, anytime, and still get paid, all right? And, if you want like the idea of getting paid while having a lifestyle business and, spend your time anyhow you want, come on board, all right? Next up, okay, I don't feel confident because what if I get asked difficult questions by potential clients? And this is one thing that I can empathize with, and that was what I experienced at the start. And this is also exactly what sets my program apart from the rest, because I've been in your shoes. And I know what it's like dealing with some intimidating clients when I was a very greenhorn myself. So don't worry, I've got you covered. And the truth is, it's actually not as scary as it looks or sounds, because I'm going to show you how to easily handle this kind of objections, concerns, while maintaining your posture and staying in control. So you get to maintain your frame, right? Next question. Don't I need to be, first of all, good at social media marketing? And now this is a very valid concern, and I get it. And this is why it holds people back from even attempting this business. I mean, it's true. You need to have at least some modicum or level of competence in social media marketing. And that's why I'm also giving my FB Ads Mastery and YouTube's Ads Mastery courses as bonuses, all right? Now, that said, being good at social media marketing alone does not automatically mean you're going to attract other business to come and work with you. And this is why my 6-figure agency secrets was created, because I know of people that are actually very good at social media marketing, but they just couldn't land clients. Okay, so it's kind of a different skill altogether. So not only will you discover how to attract clients, I'm going to show you how to manage expectations. I'm going to show you how to deliver results and keep them happy. All right. Next question. The internet changes every now and then. So what assurance do I have that the strategy you teach works today and in the years to come? Very fair question. And that's why I update the trading every now and then to keep you relevant and competitive in this space. Now, this is something that most course creators don't do. I know, because I buy them myself. And as someone who's in this field, I feel that this is the most responsible thing to do. The cool thing is, you don't have to pay any extra fees for updates, because the moment you enroll for the 6-figure agency secrets, you can say that your membership is grandfathered for the life of the membership. Now, another interesting question that I did get on the occasion is that, okay, do you have an installment plan of some kind? Good news is, yes, we do. So if you scroll below to the order form, you're going to see that there is an installment option. But take note that this accepts only credit or debit card. I mean, that's just how installments work, all right? And also, to be fair to others that have paid full price, you'll get all the bonuses upon full completion of the payment, okay? Another question that I get very so often is, okay, if I need any help, will you help? Absolutely, for sure, because as a member, you also get email access to my support team. So it's in the members area. In fact, you're going to see that there's a chat window at the bottom right when you log into the members area. And just in case, we'll also leave an email address for you to reach out to us. So fire away. We got your back. All right. All right, next. Is that a guarantee that I can get the same results? Okay, now I think it's important to pull out this disclaimer if it's not spelled out properly. Now, first off, everything that you've seen so far are my results and that of my students. This is not to be taken literally as typical results. Okay, you might make more than me, you might make less than me. Why? Because there are several factors involved, like your circumstances, your work ethics, your commitment level, and so on. And I believe you're all thinking adults, so this should be obvious. But with that said, if anyone you don't mind me speaking more candidly here, if anyone is not willing to accept this, my advice to them is to simply pass this up. All right? And moving on to the next question, all right, how long is this special price going to stay? Now, right now, I'm just going to have you know that I am selling this course to an international audience outside of Malaysia at a higher price because it's typically priced in US dollars. But now you're in Malaysia, you're seeing this in Malaysian ringgit, that's at a lower price, all right, which means you're getting a very generous deal. But I have no intention on keeping this special price forever that way. I mean, admittedly, I'm actually itching to test other higher price points to see how that goes. And one thing's for sure, it's not going to be any lower than what you're seeing right now. So, if you want to have your own profitable agency that makes 6 figures or more, then you're going to love this program. All right, in 6 Figure Agency Secrets, I'm going to show you how to get started, get your own clients, even if this is your first time doing it, where to find them, how to deliver amazing results, and keep them without pushy hard sell and desperate marketing. And the way it works is simple. Get your access now, log in and watch, follow the steps, use the templates that has been done for you. And for many reasons, this could easily sell for 12,000 ringgit and above, and I've done so many times. But right now, you can get instant access to my program today for just 997 ringgit. And when you act today, you also get bonus number 1, Facebook Ads Mastery, bonus number 2, YouTube Ads Mastery, and third but not least, the 100 million ringgit agency expert talk interview with Sean Leng. Now, don't forget, you're also protected by my 60-day guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And remember, the bonuses are not open-ended, and neither is the intro price savings. So act now by clicking on the order button below. My name is Edmund, and I'll see you inside.